We fucking got it. Yo. I'm taking a picture. Dude. Yes. I'm just upset. I'm kind of upset that it didn't like pop up for me. But I got diamond everything. Oh god, yes. Yes, dude. Dude, are you excited or what? Like, I'm fucking excited. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Skeptics or Rowdy Snyder, and today I'm bringing you a showcase of all of the dark matter weapon camos in Black Ops 3. Now, I obtained this during a 24-hour stream, 2 hours before the ending, so it was really getting close to the end. But before this video starts, I just want to say I'm sorry about the quality. I'm pulling it straight from my Xbox One, so it might not be as good as my other videos or my streams. So yeah, once again, well, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, starting off with the SMGs. First, we have the Kuda, the VMP, Vesper, Weevil, and Razorback. Now, all these weapons are going to be fairly easy to get. Probably the hardest part about them are the Bloodthirsties or long shots, but they're actually pretty easy to get. All you really do is play for the other camos, and you will get them. Like, I wouldn't consider myself great at getting these camos. I mean, it's taking me a while, but I got this pretty fast. I got it within the first, like, week of the game. Diamond SMGs. Now, the headshots, I would just play on Chaos Mosh Pit. Therefore, you get like more chances of getting headshots with more people on the map and more time, like playing Domination or Hardpoint. Now, with other game modes such as Safeguard or Uplink, those are like more short, like different game modes. So it might not be as easy to get them as fast. Now, the Pharaoh was actually really easy to get because of its accuracy. Probably the hardest one out of the bunch was the Vesper, just because of the kick. You just have to aim for the head and try to make it as center as possible, and hopefully if you aim like the chest region, if you hold down the trigger button, it'll zoom you up to the head, so it'll be relatively easier to get that that dark matter camo with the headshots and the bloodthirsties and stuff. Now, after you get those, we're gonna head off into the assault rifles. Now, the assault rifles are fairly easy to get also. It took me about 2 to 3 weeks of getting the dark matter camo for the assault rifles. It was actually the diamond camo, but the headshots were easy. They were extremely easy. Now, for all these camos, I would recommend playing on Chaos Mosh Pit or Ground War. Most likely Ground War for the LMGs or snipers. And but if you are going to play Chaos Mosh Pit the whole entire time like I did, I would camp for the Bloodthirsties in either one of the houses, and I would just switch. I would sit in a corner, and then every other kill I would switch a corner and go to a different corner in the house and just wait for someone to come in the door. Now, I know that seems kind of noobish and annoying, but that's probably the easiest and best way to get the camos. Now, the headshots were really easy. The Bloodthirsties were really easy since they're so powerful. Probably the hardest one out of the bunch would probably be the ICR, just because of the low damage rate and low fire rate. It's more like the M27 from Black Ops 2, but it has less damage and it feels less powerful than most of the guns. Now, the Man of War will be mostly a 3-shot to the chest and a 2-shot to the head, but for headshots, I would recommend putting on high caliber on all of these weapons, just so the headshots will be like really easier, and for everything else, but like for the headshots and stuff, yeah, just put on high caliber and aim for those heads. Now, the Shiva was extremely easy. And one thing that was difficult about Shiva was the Bloodthirsty, just because of the low fire rate, but everything else was relatively easy, such as the headshots, because of the aim and like the low kick, and it's just really, really easy. Now, the M87 is probably the easiest out of the bunch. Just because of the high damage rate and the high fire rate. As long as you put high caliber and either a reflex sight or the elo sight. Elo sight's probably the best bet because it cuts off on the top, so it's more like a better iron sight for the M8. Now for the shotguns, they were extremely easy, probably the easiest class out of every single class in the game. They took me about a day or a day and a half. I played for a while, and I got the Argus in like 30 minutes. That's how powerful and easy the Argus is. But for the KRM, just play Chaos Mosh Pit, these small maps like Nuketown, Aquarium, and stuff like that, and you will get your one-shot, one-kills easily. Now for the Brecci and the Haymaker, you have to get headshots instead. Now if you like hip fire, then it's going to be way less likely to get headshots. Now I recommend aiming in and then aiming for their head, just like it's an assault rifle or SMG. Now you might need a red dot sight or an elo sight or something like that. But I would recommend high caliber and foregrip and all these other things that will help you, like stock and an elo sight or something like that. Now the Argus, like I said, was probably the easiest, so shouldn't be too hard on that. Now heading off to the LMGs, these were probably the second easiest, or the SMGs or the assault rifles. They were all relatively easy, but the LMGs I would just recommend playing Ground War. But you can also play, Chaos Mosh Pit, and just camp in the windows for those headshots and bloodthirsties, and just look out the window and hope no one comes behind you. But always watch for the map to make sure that they don't spawn behind you. Like that happened to me a lot. I got a lot of rage over that. But the Dingo, relatively easy. It was really high fire rate, really high damage. So that one was really easy. Probably the hardest freaking weapon out of the LMGs is this one right here, the Gorgon. Now, you do not want to have high sensitivity on for this, because if you have high sensitivity on your aiming and it's going back and forth, it's not going to be even close to getting a headshot. Now, I would put it on the sensitivity around 3 or 4, just so it would be easier. Now, the whatever this gun is called, I forgot. 48 Dredged is probably the easiest weapon out of the bunch, besides maybe the Dingo. But just because it takes like one burst or one burst and a half, that's probably really easy. But next on to the snipers. For the maps, I would recommend Nuketown or Ground War, Chaos Mosh Pit, all those types of maps. Just not really any larger maps. I'm sorry if the video is skipping or the audio is skipping a little bit, but I can't really do anything about that. But the Locust right here is probably the hardest weapon out of them, just because of the bloodthirsties. Like, unless you're like a really good sniper and you're really good at using the sniper, and you like run in, get kills, get out, run in, get kills, get out, and get your bloodthirsties really quick, that would probably be the hardest thing. Like, that was the hardest thing for me, but I'm not that good at aim with sniping. But the P06, also really hard. The only thing that's really hard about it is, since the burst fire is like really small, it would go behind, it would like lag behind, so it's like you're pulling the trigger and like a second after it shoots. But the SVG, really easy, took me about 2 hours or something like that. But that's all the primaries. Now moving on to secondaries. I started these fresh right when I started my 24-hour stream. I had none of these gold before the 24-hour stream, and I happened to get these gold within a 21-hour mark. Now the MR6, really difficult when it comes to bloodthirsties. You just have to have a really good trigger finger. By the way, you cannot use dual wield with bloodthirsties. You cannot. Just saying. I've tried it. I ended up getting 10 bloodthirsties and they never counted. So I was raging for quite a while. The only reason I'm putting dual wield on here for these is so you can see them better. But don't put dual wield on any of the pistols. I wouldn't recommend it. Even though it makes it easier, you still can't get those bloodthirsties and they won't count. Because I wish there was some warning or something like that on there. Like, you cannot get kills with dual wield with camos or something like that. But the L-Car, relatively easy. You just have to get used to the weapons after you start using them. Like, after you get the 100 headshots, you should be relatively pretty used to the weapon. But once you get that first bloodthirsty with these pistols, it should get easier over on, Now on to the launchers. Oh my lord, these were the hardest things to get diamond. Now when I say this is it's like you have to let someone else do good on the enemy team for you to complete these challenges. So therefore your KD goes down and everything else goes down. Probably the XM53s were the hardest just because of the Cerberus and Talon kills. And the Black Cell was relatively easy. It took me over 13 hours to do, I think. So there you go. Final weapon is the combat knife. Now don't let it intimidate you. Don't let the bloodthirsties intimidate you, or the picking up weapons and then shooting the enemy that you just killed with their own weapon. Those are extremely easy. Now let me tell you why. On Nuketown, if you're playing Nuketown, what I like to do is infiltrate the building, kill whoever's in it, take the building as my own, and kill the infiltrators. Now if you have the camos, like most of them done, then the bloodthirsty should be really easy. I got the bloodthirsties done like an hour, maybe less, but the combat knife was overall really easy. So that is all the dark matter weapons. Hopefully you all enjoyed, and yeah, I have my reaction, so you guys might have already seen it at the beginning, so hopefully you all enjoyed, and I will see you guys